Hi, this is Kate from Izzalicious Designs. Today I'm going to be making a little elf, my version of a little elf with you. And we're going to need a single loom in the offset configuration, which means column 1 and 3 are slightly lower than column 2. Open part of the peg towards you or the arrow towards you. The difference between my elf and some of the others is this one can be made as a girl or a boy just by adding detachable pigtails. So that's something fun. You're going to need 2 beads if you have them, 7mm by 4mm mini pony beads. If you don't have those, that's fine, you can use bands instead. The colours I'm going to be using: red, white, green, skin tone, black and brown. We're going to get started by double banding. You take 2 bands and you're going to place them on the pegs together as if they were one. And we're going to start by placing these green bands from the top peg here, and we're going to skip this first peg and come all the way down here. Alright, let's do our next pair. Come down to here, you're going to take 2 from centre to the right and another 2 from the centre to the left. We're going to take a single band and stretch it into the figure 8, loop it on itself, and that's going to go on this top one here. We're going to take another single and stretch it over these 2. You're not looping that one on itself. Now we're going to take 3 white bands, pop them on your hook and twist once and twice, and you will slide that onto a pair of green. I like to actually sort of lift the bands up and move them on so that they don't get too twisted and snarly. This is going to be the bobble on the top of our hat here. So another pair and one more pair, and we will pop this on the top of the hat right here. Okay, like that. Now push everything down. We're now going to do, I'm using brown, but you can use whatever colour you really want to do hair. You could use blonde, brown, black, it doesn't really matter, white. Let's start by putting 2 and 2, another 2 here. And we're doing the back of the hair, so where we would normally put skin tone here, we're actually still using brown bands. Like that. Let's take a couple to do crossovers. So there's one crossover, which is a single band that you stretch across, and another single band that you stretch across in the shape of a triangle. We're going to take 2 brown bands and put them here for on the back of the neck, and I'm going to use a single skin tone for the end cap and pop that there. Now dig down past that skin tone and grab those 2 brown bands. Keep your fingernail there to keep things in the right spot if you need to. You don't want that flying off everywhere. Let's loop up and loop the other side. We loop the center once and twice. Make sure you push down so that you can get that crossover band out of the way. So we'll loop like this. Okay, next push everything down. Next we're going to use skin tone, and we'll place those. Now obviously you're skipping the top half of the head because that's the hat and the hair. Push things down so you have room. I'm going to use 2 for the neck here. I'm going to take my hook, and as you can see there's the end cap that we were using. I'm going to lift that up and over so it sits on top of those two skin tone neck bands. Now for the cheeks, which are going to go here, you're going to take a single band, wrap it once and twice, they're the pink ones, and do the same for the next one. So you've got two pink bands that you've wrapped twice on your hook, and you're going to slide those onto a skin tone band. One side here and the other side there. I've lifted the top band here, the top part of the band, and put it over this peg, and I'm going to make sure that these aren't too twisted on themselves. I use my hook to just budge them up a little higher, like that. Now, as I mentioned, I'm using beads for my eyes. You don't have to. You can use bands. All you would do is take a black band and wrap it once, twice, 3 times, and 4 times. That is the same as one bead. Okay, so you would do that twice, and when I say that I'm sliding my beads onto a skin tone band, you're sliding your wrapped bands onto a skin tone band. So here's my beads. I'm going to slide those onto a skin tone band. Now before I actually place them, I'm going to take a skin tone and twist it once, twice, and 3 times, and that will place one side and the other. The reason I do that is so the eyes don't slip to the back of the head. So stretch your little band of beads over either side like so. Now they also need ears, and I'm going to do a single skin tone looped on itself and put here. Oh, that was one I was throwing away. Let's keep that throwing away. A single looped on itself. I'll do the same on the other side of my loom. So you've got 2 single bands looped on themselves, then you're going to take a single band and wrap it around once, twice, 3 times, and 4 times. That is going to go on the end as your end cap. It is tight. Oops. Try and get it on. Sometimes it helps to just get it over one little corner of that peg, and then you can get it on the other side as well. Wrap once, twice, 3 times, and 4 times, and slide onto one side. Now it doesn't really matter if you only do it 3 times. It depends on what you can do. The tighter it is, well, I'll show you. I'll be quiet and I'll show you. As you push your hook through and grab those 2 bands and loop up and take this off, the tighter it is here, the less likely it is to sort of flop open and whatnot. So it looks like a tighter ear. You're going to take there's 4 bands. You can see the 2 loops this side, 2 loops this side. You're going to take the 2 loops that are closest to you up and over your hook. Alright, now with the side where you've just looped it over, you're going to have the 2 bands that you looped over facing out. Alright, so place your ear like that. Oh, and in saying that, I think I've placed it wrong. Place it in. I'm telling you fibs. Whichever way looks better so that it's not looking odd. Let's loop up the other side. And again, you can see it's tight. It's a tight little ear. So take the 2 closest to you, away, and then we add this to this side, like that. I'm just going to put my hook through here and spread these out a bit evenly by twirling them. So that's her little pointed, we're looking for a pointed ear. Now see how that one's pointing inwards towards me? I don't really want it pointing inwards towards me, so I'm going to turn it around and see if that looks better the other way. And you just have to fiddle with it till it suits you. That to me, I think, looks a little better, that it's pointing behind her. So fiddle factor, it's up to you which way you have the ears facing as to what looks best for you. Now, we're going to take some red bands. This is her neck, so we're doing shoulders. So we're coming down here. There's our first one for a shoulder, second one for a shoulder, and down the middle. So we would normally put arms on here. Bear with me. Take a single red, wrap it once and twice, and place as an end cap. Another one, place as an end cap, and another one, and place as an end cap. What we're going to do now is dig down past this first end cap and grab the bands and loop to the center. Do the same on the other side. Loop to the center, and the same in the middle here. Alright, so we have looped these. Oops, I've dropped one. Let me get that back. Come here, you, my fine fellow, you're not escaping. Ah. There we go. Alright, so we've looped those up. Now what we're going to do is dig down and find the neck bands. There's 2 skin tone, loop those up. 2 top skin tone, loop to the corresponding side. And then these bottom 2, make sure you're just getting the 2 that loop up. You're not getting that end cap. Try and make it, oh, that needs to go above. Pop over there, you. Try and make it so that these skin tone bands don't twist too much. You don't want twisted face bands. It looks horrid. There's one side of the face. Come here, you tricky little thing. And there's the other side of the face. I'm not having much fun with that ear, am I? Dig down, find those bottom 2 brown bands. And the next 2 on the other side. Now, we're going to dig down and find the top 2 green bands, loop them to their corresponding side. Then the next 2, and loop them to their corresponding side, and then you loop the center one up. We'll loop up, and loop up. Loop this to the top here. And then loop this last center one in. We're going to get 2 green bands, dig down, grab the 2 bands, pull through and to the back side of that peg. Now I'm going to place one side here, okay, because what I want to do is tie off at the back. So I'm taking my hook out. This isn't going to go anywhere. I'm going to stretch out my Santa hat and poke my hook. Can you see? I've poked my hook through there, and I'm going to put my 2 green tie-off bands on that, stretch it out still, and bring those bands to the back here. Okay, once they're at the back, take your hook out, face it the right way, and then you can reclaim those and tie off so it's at the back and it's not going to make a mess at the front of your figure. We're going to grab a hook to help take it off the loom. Yep, I know we haven't done the body yet. We're going to do that after the fact. Take this off. And if you just want an elf face as a little ornament for your tree, then here we go. We've got one. So take here's her face off. Careful with your bands. Take the little shoulders off. So this is the little face that we have, and as I said, if you're going to use it as an ornament for your tree, you can actually just sort of leave it like that, and there you have it. You can fix the ears yourself to which side you want them, the little pointy ears, but that's the little face, and that's the back of the head. If you're going to hide these, all you really need to do is go down between the bands at the back here for the green and drag these back I'm never very good at hiding bands, am I? And then go back this way, grab them, and you're just discreetly hiding them behind some of the existing bands that we have so you can't see them. But that's the back of his little head, or her little head. I'll show you. There's the bobble. You can angle this a little bit. Now, what we're going to do next is the body. And I'm going to start by placing, I have to change the shape of my configuration of my loom. I'm going to pop out that center column, okay? And I'm going to bring it down so that it is one below columns 1 and 3. So, as you can see, these will now fit on there. So I'm going to take 2 red bands and place from here to here. 2 red bands and place from here to here. Now, after doing the red, I'm going to do green. And green down the center. I'm going to come down to here. Now what I'm going to do for the stockings that they're wearing, I'm going to put 2 white, 2 red, 2 white, 2 red, and then a pair, oopsie, of green. Okay. I'm sorry, but another pair of white, and then a pair of green. So quite long. All right. We'll do the same on the other side. White, red, white, red, white, and come back here, green. Actually, I'm going to put the green on with the boots, and I'll show you how. I'm going to take a pair of white, wrap once and twice, and I'm going to slide onto a pair of green. I'm not going to reclaim. I'm going to take another pair of green and wrap once and twice, and then I will reclaim. Okay, I'm going to slide that onto a pair of green. So slide those on and reclaim, and then I'm going to slide that onto, if I can reclaim, there we go, another pair of green. So it's a little bit different than how we normally do shoes. So slide onto another pair of green. Do not reclaim just yet. We've got another pair of green, wrap once and twice, reclaim, and now we're going to slide on to the pair of green that I had put on the end of the legs. Slide the first 2 bands over, get the wrapped bands over. Again, try and lift them up so that they're not too snarly. And then the last 2. Reclaim. Angle the foot this way. Alright. Now, you can also angle the foot at the toe so that the toe sticks up. And that's the look that we're going for, as if he's wearing these little elf shoes with the bobble sticking up. So let's take another 2 white bands, wrap once and twice, slide onto a pair, do not reclaim, take another pair of green, wrap once and twice, slide these back on like that, reclaim them, take a pair, slide on. There's the first, here's the wrapped, reclaim, add another pair. Again, don't reclaim, take a pair, wrap once and twice. Now you can reclaim, and we're going to take another pair and slide all of these on. Reclaim, and you're going to angle the foot the other way, that way, and then the little toe points up the other way, okay, and that would sit on the other leg just here. So there's your two little feet with the bobble on the top there. Alright, we're going to take 2 green bands and place across. And actually, I'm telling you a fib, I'd actually like these to go under these. So I'm going to put that under here. We're going to do a bit more work as well on this little spot here. I'm going to lift those white ones up as well and place this one under. It just looks better from at the back. Take another another 1 green, wrap once and twice, and that's going to go here. Now let's take another 1, wrap it once and twice, and we're sliding onto a pair. Now that's an odd band. Look at that, horrible. Let's throw that away. Slide it onto a pair. Now, with this, one side of this pair is going to go under all of this. So I'm going to lift this all up like that, and I'm going to put one side here on that green band. I will replace the green band that goes at the diagonal, and then I'm going to replace the white. It could have just sat on top, but then it's not going to capture, when I pull this over, it's going to capture those, and I think that looks better. Purely aesthetics, it's just me being finicky. Take another single, wrap once and twice, slide onto a pair, and again let's take this one off, lift this side one up. We're going to put our little one here like that, make sure it doesn't fall off the end. Come back you, there we are. Put our green bands back and our white ones back. Try and make sure they're not too twisted. Now we're going to place our crossover bands, so a single, stretch it across these 3 pegs, a single and stretch across the 3 pegs, a single, stretch across the 3 pegs, and another single and stretch across the 3 pegs. For the arms, we're going to take skin tone. Take a single skin tone, wrap it around your hook once and twice, and slide it onto a pair of skin tone. And then again, we're going to alternate between the red and the white. So we'll start with a pair of white, a pair of red, a pair of white. Now if you look, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We always do 5. I'm going to do the last pair as green so that it fits in with the tunic that he's wearing. So there's green, and I'm going to pop that right there on that shoulder. Let's do the other arm. A single, wrap once and twice, slide onto a pair. We're going to do a pair of white, a pair of red, a pair of white, and a pair of green. And we will pop that on the other shoulder. Now, before I put these arms on, let me take that arm off a minute. What are we missing? Rather vital piece. Let's put his head on, otherwise it's going to be a headless elf. Poke your hook through the 3 loops here at the end, and one goes there. The middle, there's 3 loops for the end cap, that goes there, and then the other side goes here. That would have looked really bad. Oh dear. Alright, now let's put our arms on. There's the first arm. Let's put the second arm on over here. Like that. Now we're going to use a few black bands. Take a single, put it around your hook like a figure 8. I'm going to put that one just here. Another one on the opposite side. And we're going to put one on this band here, right there. Just like that. So let's check that we have everything. We have the bobble shoes, we have the pinstripe stockings, we have the end cap, we have our little frill for our tunic, we have our crossover bands, we have our belt, we have arms, and we have a head. I think we're ready to start looping up. Dig down past the shoes and grab the 2 white bands. Hold the shoes in place so that they don't fly off and hit somebody. Loop up the legs. Now, I very much like to loop the legs in first, because they're going to be, if you were thinking about how you were wearing something, your pants, if you're wearing a tunic, your pants or your tights are going to be under your tunic. You're not going to see it. So it's important to loop it in so it's under. Dig down past that end cap, grab the 2 bands and loop to the side of the tunic, and the same on the other side. We'll loop this middle one up just because, and then you're going to put the frilly bit on, which is the sort of tunic part. Stretch it out and pop that on there. Do the same for the other side. Sometimes it's easier to hold it. There we go. Oops, I got one. Let's try and get the other. I didn't push my bands down far enough, so it's popping off. Let's push those bands down. There we go. To lock it into place, dig down, find the 2 bottom green bands and loop up. And I'm going to try and make sure they're not twisted. So that's secured in place now. Let's do the same on the bottom. It's always nice to know it's not going to come unraveled. Again, try and make sure that it's not twisted. I'm going to loop this one up and bring my belt down. Put your hook, you've got top bands here, bottom bands here. Put your hook under the bottom bands and grab those black bands, not the green ones, just the black. Pull forward like so, and just twist it around. Now, to do these, we do need to lose the crossover band for a second. And I've only looped up 1 band. I can see I've looped up the wrong ones. I can see a mistake. I'm going to go back. If you see a mistake, and the reason I noticed it, it wasn't shaped like a little teardrop, and it's supposed to be. It's supposed to show like a little teardrop, like these show like a teardrop. I had one that looked like a teardrop, but the other one was just normal. So I'd obviously looped up the wrong band. So let's see if I can do that. That's better. It's definitely worth checking, because you'll be so disappointed at the end of it if you don't see. So let's dig down, grab the next band. We're going to go under the bottom one, grab the black, pull it around to the back side of the peg and pull it forward. Twist it around to get it untangled. Poke your hook through and lift the top 2 bands up. Grab your crossover band and put it back in place, and then put those 2 bands back. Alright, do the same the other side. We'll release the crossover band, we'll loop up, we'll dig down past the green to grab the 2 black, pull it around and forward, pretty it up. You're going to go through the top 2, take the top 2 bands off, grab your crossover band, put it in place, and re-loop those. Loop this up, loop up to the arms, like so. Now this is always a finicky part, because with these two bottom red bands that you want to loop in, they're at the very bottom but they're looping down, so I usually get them, pull them up and then move them down. And you're going to do the same on the other side. Grab the bottom ones, pull up. Ah, tricky. Let's get rid of that broken red band and replace it with another one. I'm going to put the good band there that I've already managed to loop in. I'm going to release the pressure. Now, this is going to be tricky because I have to go all the way to the bottom here, which is where the other one is. So what I'm going to do is faff around a bit, go all the way to the bottom, grab this red band. I'm going to poke it. Let's keep that there. I'm going to pinch it together so I can poke it down like that. Grab it on my hook, and you might have to sort of do a bit of fancy footwork to get it on your hook. There we go. Nope. Let's try again. There we go. I'm going to pull it around this band. I'm going to put it on that peg. Okay, I've got it on that peg. I'm going to come under here and grab the band. And I hope you don't mind that I'm showing you how I will replace this. I just think it's quite important. So I'm going to let go, and I'm going to come through the top here and grab it. Now I want it to be under all of these bands. So I'm going to poke my hook out the side, grab that band on it, and drag it back through and place on. So it's secure there now. I'm going to grab the green and loop up. Now again, we're going to do some fancy footwork because we have to tie off. I don't want to tie off at the front of his chest. I think that would look nasty. So I'm going to release one shoulder very carefully so I don't disturb this. I'm going to put my hook through so it's poking out the side, and I'm going to grab my bands and pull through to come through that peg to the back side of this peg. I'm going to put my bands from the other side onto that peg that I just made free from the shoulder. Here's my other side. I'm going to release, I'm going to hold this. I'm going to release this other shoulder to give me a bit of space to work with. I'm going to pop my hook back on. Now, if I lift this up, you can see that there's a little hole right there. I'm letting go of my bands, and I'm going to poke my hook through the hole in the center of him, and I'm going to put those two bands on my hook. Keep lifting up and pull those bands to the back. Take my hook out, re-angle it to the right way, grab the two bands that are on the peg from the other side, reclaim them, so I have them both on my hook here, one over the other, and pull tight. Using the back of a hook, I'm going to help ease him off my loom. Let's get rid of my loom for a minute. Now this is a larger character than normal. He's got longer legs. So there's his little spindly legs. His shoulders. Let's pull that up and out. Up and out. Readjust this little bit here. Now what you can do for this bit is poke your hook through and just stretch it into shape. Sometimes things get a bit out of shape. The bands will relax. Turn them over. You're going to hide these red bands I just usually go through the back and hide them through some of these red bands that I already have here. Hey, come here you. So they're just sort of discreetly hidden. Okay. Stretch him out into shape. Now the other thing that you can do is make a little neck collar for him. If you choose to, you can leave him just like that if you want. That's perfectly fine. But if you do want to make a little collar for him, take a red band, stretch it into a figure 8, loop it on itself. Oops, flick it at yourself. You're going to do 2 like that. We need 6 of these. And this is, again, a detail that you don't need to add, but if you choose to, it's up to you. Single band, wrap once and twice and 3 times. And pop on the end as an end cap on each of these. Just like with the ears, I want the end cap to be tight. How many times did I wrap that round? Let me do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're not able to wrap it around 4 times, do it 3. Actually, I am doing it 3, not 4. It gives you wrap it 3 to get 4 loops. Silly, isn't it? One more. Now we're going to loop these up. You could do a little gold end cap instead of red, so it looks like a little gold bell if you wanted to. Let's take these all off. Gently does it because they're tight. If you did my Easter bunny, then you'll know exactly what I'm kind of doing. Get rid of your loom. Single band, red, slide these all onto it. Like that. Reclaim the end of your band, take the closest one to you up and over, and then you're going to take this one, splay it open and pop it through the nearest red little leaf. Now this is the little star, and yes, you're going to have to stretch it to put it around his head or her head. stretch, stretch, stretch around the neck. You can have it up the top here. I had pulled it down quite far on my other one. I pulled it down to the shoulder length, but it's completely up to you where you want that to be. So yeah, for my other one I sort of had it sitting at shoulder length like that. As it flips up. There we go, pull that bit out so it sits properly. So that's our little boy elf. Okay, now if you want to convert this to a girl elf, you'll need the same colour bands as you used for the hair. You're going to take it and wrap it in a figure 8, and you will do this 7 times. So that's 1, 2, and this is if you do it on the loom, 3. I actually think you get a better look when you don't do it on the loom, but I'll show you how to do both. 4, 5, 6, 7, an end cap, single band, wrap once, twice, 3 times, pop that on the end here, dig down, grab that first band and we loop up. I always feel that doing it on the loom stretches it a bit more than it needs to be for this, but it's still worth showing. Take this off gently. Like that, that's our first pigtail. Let's do the second one on the hook. Wrap once, twice, 3 times, single band, loop it on itself. Slide your end cap over and reclaim. That was number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, with another 2 bands. Look at the back here. Oh, my tie off band has come loose. Let me hide that again. There we go, hidden. I want 3 of these at the back and 3 at the front because I'm OCD like that. Okay, so at the back here you have a set of bands here and the other side of it is here. These are what we're going to work with. So take your hook, you're going to go through that first set there, like that, just the first 2. Grab a brown band, pull it through, move your first pigtail onto that brown band, slide it close, let go. You're going to, and if you're scared, hold on to it. You're going to find the other 2, the other side there, and put one side on like that and pull it through. Reclaim your bands like that, so you have the pigtail in between. Take one over the other, splay it out and pop the pigtail through like so. Now you're going to go through the end cap, and you can go one above the end cap if you choose, it's up to you really. Take a red band, pull it through, hold on to one side on your hook, and with the other side twist it around it, poke it through and tie a knot. just like that. Okay, we're going to do the same on the other side. So this time, instead of going through the first top two here, we're going to find the other side of it, which is here, because we're working backwards. So grab your brown band, pull it through, move the pigtail onto it, find the other side of those two brown bands, which is here, grab the loop, pull it through, reclaim the end, one over the other, splay out, pop your pigtail through, and again go through your end cap, which is 4 little loops in this case, grab the red band, and we tie a knot. Like that. And there we have, I like them poked up, so they're like that. But there we have our little girl elf. So I really hope you enjoy making them. It's completely up to you. I'm going to put that up above here. I think it looks better. It's completely up to you. If you want to have a boy elf, a girl elf, if you want the trim around the neck or not. But there you have my little elf. And the back of the hair and the back of the hat. I really hope you enjoy making. Take care. Bye-bye.